Say what you guys will about the main event at UFC 319. Say that it was boring. Say that that's not the style of fighting you like. That's not what MMA is. Sure, I hear you guys. Trust me. But one thing we can't take away from that is how incredibly impressive that performance was by Khamzat Chimaev. This man has now got himself on a short list of when we talk about the most dominating title fights, let alone the most dominating title fights by the challengers. He's definitely on the short list now, man. You can't take that away from him. I think RDA taking out Anthony Pettis, Usman taking out Woodley, good old Garbrandt taking out Cruz, TJ Dillashaw, Barrea. There's a bunch of them we could go over, and even more so with the dominating like performances where they actually got the finishes. Connor versus Eddie, John Jones versus Shogun Hua. When we talk about these fights, we have to talk about Hamzat versus Duplessis now, man. 23 minutes of the 25 minutes is complete control time. It's absolutely insane. It's almost unheard of. Was it a bad night to watch? If you're streaming like I was with some people watching, yeah, it's not the funnest. It's definitely not the most fun. It's not the greatest. And it's pretty much that meme. It's like, oh man, when you're watching MMA alone, you get two spinning elbow knockouts. But then as soon as your girl or your friends come in watching, like you got Usman or you got Hamza and good old Dricus just hugging it out. So of course that's how that goes. A real life meme playing out. But I feel like there's only one thing we should be mad about here, man. And it's not Khamzat Chimaev doing his thing. Because let's put yourself in Khamzat Chimaev's shoes. Your first title fight, you've been highly touted for how long? But now you've been dealing with injuries and all these little visa issues. You finally get your big chance. You finally get the big shot at the title. And what, you're going to go out there and just because you're dominating position, you're just going to go for some submission you shouldn't go for and give up position? Like, look what happened in the last 30 seconds of that fight. Duplessis almost gets a rear naked. He gets mount. He could have made it pretty ugly. Imagine if that happened second, third, fourth round just because Hamzat decides he's going to just go for broke and just go for some crazy finish. And that's exactly what Dricus was waiting for to open the door. So you got to shout out Hamzat, man. He doesn't take the chance. He's not even going to give Dricus a chance to spoil his parade. But here's where we got to be mad, man. Everybody knew how this fight was going to play out. We were all sick of it. We were all sick of hearing, oh, Dricus late or Hamzat early. But when we were thinking Dricus late, I think every single one of us were thinking, okay, Dricus is going to get taken down, and he's just going to be so resilient trying to get up and just keep, getting taken down and everything that he's going to tire out Hamzat. We all watched that fight. I think the only thing we should be mad at is Dricus because every time he would get taken down, and how do you train for Khamzat Chimaev too? Let's take that real quick. You could tell Duplessis' full fight camp was, all right, we got to fight that initial takedown and we got to keep it standing. But I think the thing they forgot the most is that Hamzat he's not the just one shot and I'm taking you down. What makes Hamzat such a killer is that second, third, fourth, fifth attempt of chain wrestling, chain takedowns. And that's exactly what Duplessis wasn't going for. And then once we got to the ground, Duplessis just accepted the position. That's where we went wrong. That's where Gilbert Burns had a great time. That's where good old Kamaru Usman had a great time against Hamzat. These guys didn't accept the down position. They didn't accept where they were. And this man, Dricus, I could understand the first round, maybe round and a half, where you're like, okay, you don't want to give your neck up and stuff. But at what point was there urgency? At what point were you trying to even have this man work? Derek Lewis could have fought for 25 minutes at that rate if all he's doing is laying on his guy. It's like, sure, Hamzat, maybe his gas tank looked a little better, but I just think that fight style, he could have fought for 45 minutes, man. So, like, at the end of the day, Dricus finally showed something at the fifth round, and look what happened in 30 seconds. He didn't do any of that for the first 24 and a half minutes. And, of course, we got Hamzat. Like, you can't be mad at Khamzat Chimaev, but here's the scariest part for the haters, man. Here's the scariest part for people that don't like Hamzat or don't like that style. When we think of the most dominant champions of all time, who comes to mind? John Jones, Habib. As much as people hated him, Kamaru Usman's up there. Good old Israel Adesanya. Good old John Jones. Get some of these guys that you can think of. Cain Velasquez, all these things. The people that had the longevity, what they got really good at is not putting their neck out on the line anymore and realizing, like, I can knock out anybody in the world. But guess what? That guy could knock me out too. But you know where I can't get beat is my cardio and my absolute dominating grappling. And look what GSP did the rest of his career. 4, 5, 6, 7 fights in a row that people are just snoozers, calling him boring. Like, hey, I was there watching GSP. People thought he was boring back then doing what he was doing. Kamaru Usman made his money off being boring and having decision wins. John Jones, Israel Adesanya, how many times have we watched them go on and have boring fights against Yoel Romero and all these fights against Thiago Silva and all these, or Thiago Santos and all these guys? Like, come on now, man. Like, these guys learn, I don't want to put my neck out on the line. I'm going to make it an easy day at the office. I'm going to get another title defense. Khamzat Chimaev just did that in his first damn fight for the title. He's not even the champion yet for 2 or 3 defenses. He already realized that forever ago. This man could box with the best of them, could strike with the best of them. He knows that nobody can stop his takedowns, and he's only gaining confidence. It's going to be a scary day for the division for a while, man. And if you don't like him, I mean, I like Rainier Day Ritter. I like Imavov. I like Cal Borrelio. I like all these guys. None of them are going to be able to do any of that. And if Hamzat's going out there and sticking to the game plan like that, we could be seeing him at a 7, 8, 9, 10 fight title defense where we're just like, who can beat this guy? So, I mean, I'm impressed, man. Shouts out to the guy. I don't think the hate is worthy. I think that was an incredible fight. You go out there and dominate anybody 23 minutes out of the 25 minutes. You can make an excuse you got lucky with a punch or a knockout or some slam or something. You're never going to get an excuse for being lucky for 23 minutes of domination of a 25-minute fight. So you guys let me know what's next for good old Khamzat. I'd watch anything. I'm a little worried for Dricus now. After such a weird, couple fights there with only Izzy and Sean Strickland, I don't know, man, because the rest of that division's scary. Imavov, Borrelio, all these guys we were talking, Rainier Day Ritter, some awkward guys. I'm a little nervous for Dricus. We could see Dricus go on another 2-3 fight losing streak, and next thing you know, he's out of the UFC, and we're sitting here like, do you remember that champion? So you guys let me know. As always, your boy, Stephen Moose Let's go, baby.